We're a little bit behind, so I'll let her rush right into it. Enjoy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hello, you guys. Welcome. Happy Thursday or whatever date you're practicing. I am trying to get out of the house today. So I'm outside, had a little internet issues, but we're here. So nice thing about practicing on our own time and our own space is we get to control where we're at. Maybe you won't get internet where you're at, but if you do, it's worth the challenge. So first and foremost is to find somewhere comfortable to sit. You can be on a couch, you can be on a computer chair, a kitchen chair. I'm just on a pretty basic chair here. So I know that sometimes when we're on a chair that has wheels, it makes it a little bit more difficult for us. So it is nice to have something that's stationary. All right, great. Lastly is if you want to put any kind of cushion underneath your hips, not only does it give your legs, your butt, your back a little bit of cushion, but it also helps get those hips above our knees. So especially if you have long legs, it's important to keep those hips at least just a little bit higher than our knees, because it'll release some of that tension that we hold in that low back. All right, so we're gonna start. Get somewhere nice and comfortable. You can lean back into your chair. Try to sit up tall and straight, not rigid. Let those eyes close. No matter how hectic today has been, this week, this month, take a moment just to let it all go. Checking in with ourselves, noticing our own space, the sensations we feel through our body, our thought patterns, our energy. Taking long breath in and out. Just take a couple more of those long breaths. With every exhale, just feeling a little bit more tension and ease. Release. Let's bring both of our hands to that low belly. So right beneath our belly button. We're going to focus our breathing into this space here. So as we breathe in, I want you to fill that low belly as much as you can. Big puff. And then as we exhale, we're going to pull that low belly back into our spine. Good. Every breath, fill that low belly. Feel that low belly rise. And then as we exhale, pull that low belly back into our spine. Feel that core heat up here. Good. So many things we're doing, so much tension we're getting rid of. At the same time, we are building those core muscles as we breathe here, as we use those muscles to contract us in as we breathe out. Good. So good for our digestive system, our organs, our cardiovascular system. So much that is going on here, we have no idea. So just even these deep breaths here, focusing in that low belly. This is yoga. You could do this for an hour. We won't, but this would be yoga. You would feel great afterwards. Okay, now let's move those hands up to that lowest rib. So take a moment to really feel that low rib here. Okay, we're going to think of those ribs not only coming forward, but we want them to expand. They're meant to expand everywhere, even off of our spine. So as we breathe in, I want you to feel those ribs, almost like fish gills. And as you breathe out, just let them draw back in. Good, you don't have to force it. Grab it, let gravity do the work. Breathe in and exhale. Good. For me, every time I come here to breathe, I can feel that tension that I hold in my ribs. I can feel that tension off of my spine. So this is not only a breathing exercise, but it is a stretch for that rib cage. That rib cage is made up of so many ligaments and tendons and muscles. We hold a lot of tension here. Good, last one. Good, you can kind of open your eyes. Nice soft gaze. We're going to just breathe in, big reach all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good, one more just like that. Big breath, reach. And exhale. Perfect. From here, we're going to just move a little bit forward on our seat. Know the back of your seat is there if you ever need that support. By all means, use it. Okay. Feet are going to be hip distance apart. We're going to start off with a big breath all the way up. And exhale. Good. Right elbow, right thigh. All right. So for most of us, we feel that stretch here. Okay. Top, back part of our hip, we feel it. So if you don't, try to keep that left shoulder up a little bit. We're just trying to do a little bit of a twist here so you feel that. Such an important muscle we stretch. When we sleep and we wake up, we're kind of achy here. Yeah, that's that muscle. Okay, it's also really good for our organs here, our kidneys. We're kind of, making some space, moving them around a little bit. Now you can stay here just like this. You can reach that left arm up towards the sky. Again, if you just want to add, just don't forget to breathe. One more breath. Good. And release. We'll come to both elbows here. Okay, take a moment. Probably feel this in your low back right now too. Great, and we'll switch. Okay, just lift that right shoulder up. You'll feel this. Good. This is actually an important muscle to stretch for everybody. But if you're a golfer, these are part of that muscle group that helps us. I know there's some golfers out there. So it's important those muscles are strong here, but it's important that those muscles are stretched too. They're going to be what gives us our range of motion. Okay, and again, we can add that arm. Don't forget to breathe. Big breath in. And release back to both elbows here. Okay, we can stay on these elbows just like this, or we can come all the way down to our belly. Okay, getting those bellies on top of that belly on top of our thighs. This is just gonna lengthen that low back. You're gonna feel it in your hips too. Might feel it in your upper back. Just let your whole body round down. And we'll come all the way up when you're ready. Good. Shake it out a little bit. We're going to roll those shoulders out. So big breath in, shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, roll them down and back. Good. Two more. Breathe them up. Exhale, down and back. Last one here. And down and back. All right, we're going to move into those legs a little bit. I'm going to move a little bit further back so you can see my feet a little bit better. All right, so we're going to warm up our legs a little bit. So heels are going to be right underneath our knees. Maybe back a little bit. There we go. All right, we're going to scooch those heels back a little bit, just enough where our heels kind of pop up off of the floor a little bit. And we're going to take those heels all the way up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, press those heels down. Kind of lifts the rest of our body up. Okay. Do it again. Heels up. Hold it here. And then press those heels down. Let it lift you up just a little bit. Just one more. Good. Heels up. We're just warming up those muscles. And heels down. Lifts up. Awesome. Shake out those legs a little bit. All right. We're going to take that left ankle, bring it on top of our right knee. Lots of options. This is too much for you. This bottom leg can be longer. It can be like this. You can slowly come here like this. The straighter this leg is, the easier it's going to be for this. Okay. So if you get here and this feels good, you can eventually bend that knee a little bit. You can bend it a little bit more. You're going to feel it more. Okay. That's an important muscle to stretch. This muscle is where that sciatic nerve runs through. So when that muscle is really tense, it can keep that nerve constantly agitated. This is also important for our low back. It's good for those SI joints. It's just really good for our hips in general. Now, if you've ever had a major hip replacement, where they've taken off those outer muscles, a lot of times they tell you not to do these outer rotations. So, of course, listen to that. But for the rest of us, as long as this is not painful, it's pretty good for us. Try to sit up nice and tall. You can even start to lean in a little bit as you start to feel that ease here. Don't forget to breathe. Okay, and then release. All right. We'll stay on that foot. But we're going to turn a little bit to the right. Okay. I just want you to be comfortable in your seat. And then we're going to take that left leg and we're just going to step it all the way off to the left. Now, heel can be down, toes can be up. You can have your feet down, whatever feels good. Okay. You're going to feel that whole inner muscle here just really stretch. Try to sit up tall. It's very easy here for you just to lean back in this. So see if you can keep those shoulders stacked on top of your hips. Okay. So most of us are never stretching out these muscles. In fact, I feel like these muscles are always in constant contraction in our day when we're sitting, especially women. We just, we tend to sit with our knees together. Whereas men are get to be a little bit more relaxed. So important that we stretch these out. They actually have a lot to do with our posture. So these and even the front thigh muscles attach to the tops of our hips. And when they're really tight, they pull those hip tops forward. So they make that tall posture really hard for us. So stretching out these muscles a lot of times, when we're dealing with getting good posture, we'll find that a physical therapist will stretch out these muscles for us. Now you can stay here. This might be enough for most of us. Otherwise, we can walk that hand down that foot, or down that leg just a little bit, but keep that right shoulder back. Because again, you'll start to feel that stretch right here. Now you can stay here. You can reach that arm up. Again, just add what feels good for your body today. Don't forget to breathe. Good. And then release. Good. Slowly come back. Bring those legs back together. And we'll switch. This time that right ankle on top of our left knee. Okay, so modify how you need to. For me, this side is much more tense than the other side. So I have to get that left leg a lot straighter, and kind of ease into it a little bit. Completely normal for us to have one side that is that is just better, that is just more flexible than the other side. No rhyme or reason. Okay. And again, same thing, sit up tall. You can start to fold in. Try to do the same sequence you did on the other side, even though it feels different. Just try and feel that same intensity here. Don't forget to breathe. The stretch feels so good on this side. I just know I need it. They often tell you that the sides or the stretches that you hate the most are the ones that you need to practice more. You know, that doesn't sound fun. All right, we'll go ahead and release that leg. Wiggle it out. I swear I feel like my gait is like bigger. Like I'm one of those like gazelle horses after that kind of a stretch. So now we'll turn to the left. And then we're going to take that right leg off towards the right side. Again. Same thing. Heel can be down, toes can be up. You can roll the outer edge of that foot down, whatever feels right for you. You're really going to stretch out different parts of that muscle. Same muscle, but different parts of it, depending on how your feet are placed. So don't necessarily do the one that feels the easiest. Just make sure you do one that feels right in your body, that you feel the stretch, but it doesn't bring you discomfort. I love this being outside for this. This is great. Good. Now you can stay here. This might be enough for you. Otherwise, that right hand can walk down that left leg or right leg, and then keep that left shoulder back and breathe. If you didn't already do it, you could lift that left arm up. 2 more breaths. And release. Good. Bring those feet in, wiggle them out. Good. So we're going to bring our feet together to touch. Make sure that you have like a little bit of space between your back and the back of the chair, as long as it feels good. Make sure you're not falling off your seat. And we're just going to take those legs and we're going to bring them to the left, up, and to the right. Okay. So this might be a very small movement for you, and that's perfectly fine. But you're going to feel it in those IT bands here. Okay. Important muscles we keep strong because they are what are responsible for keeping that hip in its place. Okay. So happy IT bands, happy hips. Okay. You'll feel them. So you kind of go to the side, sit up tall. Only thing that moves is the legs, and you'll feel that muscle here. Okay. So again, it doesn't have to be a lot of movement. just enough so you feel it. Good. Just even out your sides. And then release. Okay, we'll give those legs a little bit of a break. We'll go into the arms. We'll just reset. So big breath in, reach all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. 2 more, just like that. Big stretches. Always yawning. 1 more. Perfect. We're going to bring those feet wider than hip distance this time. Right elbow, right thigh. We're going to stretch out that muscle a little bit more deeply here. So bring that left hand onto your hip and then go ahead and bring that shoulder back. Come back up, release, and last down. Pull that right shoulder back. Okay, so we're just, same stretch we did earlier, we're just kind of intensifying it here. Go ahead and release. Sit up nice and tall. All right, arms come out wide. Give yourself a nice big hug. Good. You can even start to walk those hands in more here. I like to wiggle out my shoulders here. Those feet can be wide, those feet can be closer together. Whatever feels good. All right, sit up tall. Strong legs, strong feet. Keep those feet from moving. And then we're just going to turn to the right. Just a little bit. Feel those muscles here. Come back to center. Turn to the left. Back for center. Remember what hand is on top. And then just switch it. Same thing. Nice big hug. You can kind of wiggle it out a little bit. Sit up tall. Strong legs. Keep those knees from moving. And then turn to the left. Good. Back through center. And turn to the right. You really feel those obliques here working. Again, very important muscle that we keep strong. It keeps that spine tall. It supports our spine. And release. Good. Relax those arms. All right. So for this next one, stay exactly where you are. I'm going to turn so that you can see. All right, so depending on what you're sitting on is going to make a difference on what you're doing. So if you don't have a back to your seat, maybe you're on a couch, you maybe grab a pillow or grab a sock or a scarf or a belt and then use that to lengthen your arms. For people who have like a back of your seat, you can grab this. You can also grab this, okay? So just feel it around for what feels right here. All right, so I want you to grab it back, but I don't want you to grab it so much that you're leaning forward. So if this is how you're feeling right now, I want you to grab lower, okay? So I want you to be able to grab whatever you have and then pull that heart up and forward, okay? So we're really stretching out, feeling like we're stretching out that collarbone, those muscles, our pectoral muscles. Good, and breathe. Good, such an important muscle for us to stretch out here. We use them for everything, like driving, reading, on our phones. Like these muscles are constantly in contraction. So they can really pull those shoulder tips forward and making that posture really hard for us. So Really good thing to stretch out. They actually can build a lot of tension in our neck and our shoulders too. Good. And release. All right. Come back. Let's see how we're doing on time. Okay. All right, we'll reset. Big breath in, reach up. And exhale it in. 2 more, just like that. Breathe. Last one. Big breath. Perfect. Give our arms or shoulders a little love. So we're going to give those rotator cuffs a little love here. So I want you to bring those elbows into your sides. Keep them there, pin them, and then just circles with your hands. Good. So I love here to like hold on to that shoulder, and you can really feel the muscles that you're working here. These little tiny muscles all around the tip of that shoulder. Okay. So this is so good for that rotator cuff. It stretches it, it builds strength for it. I like to do this with a tennis ball on a string, and then you just kind of sit here like this. Again, it builds the strength of those muscles. Now, if this is like any bit tense here, maybe you're having some problems with them right now, make those circles smaller. Okay. Perfect. So we're going to bring those palms together. Elbows stay in. Open up nice and wide. Good. Back in. And out. Okay. You feel it. You feel those muscles stretching as you come out. You're building muscles too. This is a great one for posture because you're building those muscles that are going to help keep those shoulder tips back. Good. One more. And then we'll open up wide. Stay wide. And then we're going to reach those arms all the way up towards the sky. Like we're pulling something down, bring them down and bring those elbows together to touch. Like you're trying to make them touch. Good. Another great one for posture here. Okay, sit up tall, reach them down and back. 2 more, just like that. Last one. And really shake out those shoulders a little bit. All right, we're going to take those hands, bring them all the way up as high as we can, little fists, almost violently open them up. Great. We're working that lymphatic system. We're getting all that junk out of our fingers, letting everything drain. It's really good for arthritis in our hands, carpal tunnel. Good. The unswelling of our fingers, all that good stuff. Last one. Good. That really tires them out, doesn't it? All right, we'll reset. One more with our arms. Breathe in. And exhale it in. 2 more. Breathe. Last time. Full breath. All right, let's give those arms a break. I feel it, so I'm sure you guys do too. Feet are hip distance apart, hands on our knees. Make sure you're a little bit away from the back of your seat. You're going to need that space. We're going to inhale, pull that belly button forward, shoulders back. Maybe we look up, and then exhale, we're round. Good. Pull that belly button towards the back of your seat. And we'll move just like this. Breathe in, pull it forward, and exhale round. So we're just moving every part of our spine right now. These first ones feel really rigid. I feel really rigid in like one side of my body compared to the neck. Completely normal. Really important that we move our spine like this. Give it a couple of them. You'll start to feel a little bit more fluidity through it. Any movements here that feel good. So I'm kind of a shaker, so I get there and just want to feel around. Just don't forget to breathe. Last one. Good. All right, back through center. Perfect. Sit up nice and tall. Good. We'll roll those shoulders out one at a time this time. Take your time doing it too. Good. All right. Perfect. All right. You can sit back into your seat if it feels good. We're going to bring that right leg forward, straighten that leg, heel comes down. So I know I'm lifting it up a little bit so you guys can see it. I want you to point those toes forward and then point it back. Try to keep tall spine. So I know when we start to do this, it's very easy for us to kind of roll forward. Good. Good. Again, your heel is down. Now we're going to roll that ankle. Yeah, get all those creaks and those cracks out of it. Reverse those circles. Perfect. All right, toes flex up, they flex back. A little bit of a bend in that knee. Okay, need to sit up a little bit so that it doesn't hurt the back of my thigh. And then our hands are going to come to that left leg. We're going to sit up really tall here. So I just want you to lean forward, not roll forward. Belly into our thigh forward so that you feel that stretch in the back of that right thigh. Okay. Yeah, coming towards the edge of your seat is going to make it feel better. So our hamstrings, these big muscles in the back of our thigh, they connect to our spine. So when they're really tight, they're just going to build more tension for us in our low back. Men tend to have shorter hamstrings than women. They tend to be stronger, but they tend to be really tight. So men really need to stretch these out. Important muscles, because these muscles are what keep us from, getting up off the floor, picking something up off the floor. You can't touch your toes or even touch your knees. A lot of times it's this muscle back here. Okay, so very important that we keep this muscle stretched. Don't forget to breathe. Good. This might be enough for you, or you can even lean forward. You can even reach down and grab for your toe, for your ankle. Again, it just depends on how tight you are in this muscle. Couple more breaths. Good. And release. Perfect. Shake out that leg a little bit. And we'll switch. Last leg goes forward. See, it's raining out. Lucky me. All right, so flex those toes back and press them forward. Good, back and forth. Okay, so good. These are good for like our ankle. You can feel it in your ankle. you actually are strengthening that knee too, because these are all the muscles. We're using all the muscles that keep our knee in its happy place. Great thing you could do at home. It's good for the lymphatic system too. It helps to pump all that stuff that we hold in our feet up to the rest of our body, so our body can filter through that blood and get us some nice fresh stuff. Good, now we're going to make circles with that ankle. Yeah, get all those cracks out of there. Good, reverse those circles. Good, and release. All right, toes point up, flex back, a little bit of a bend in that knee, and then hands come to that right thigh. Just gonna stretch out that muscle. Feel it in the back of that thigh. Feel it in your calf too. If you're not feeling it in your calf, flexing those toes back more will help. Sit up tall. All the fun sounds of outside. Good, now you can stay here, or you can add to it and lean forward, grab for that leg, that thigh, those toes, whatever feels good. But don't hyperextend that knee. So you want to have a little bit of a bend there. Keep that knee happy. Good. Breathe. One more breath. And release. Shake out those legs a little bit. Wiggle them out. Well, reset. Sit up nice and tall. Heels under your knees. Breathe in, reach up. Big stretch. Exhale, hands to your heart. 2 more, just like that. Breathe. Last one. Perfect. From here, we're going to bring those feet really wide, wider than hip distance. We're going to come down to our elbows. Okay, so for some of us, this is enough for us. We're feeling this in our hips, our low back. This is really good for our hips and our low back. For others, if you need to add to this, you can bring it down to the floor with your fingertips. This is like if you've ever seen or heard of like happy baby pose. This is done typically on your back with your feet up in the air, and you're grabbing for your toes like a happy baby would be when they finally find their toes. So good for our low back. It's good for our hips. It's good for more things too. Oh, it's good for our brain too, because anytime we can get our head below our heart, we get that fresh blood flow to our brain, which studies find that it keeps us sharp, keeps our brain happy and healthy. Okay. 2 more breaths here. Good. We'll come up on our elbows, take a few breaths here. Anytime we get our head below our heart, can make us a little dizzy too. Okay, so just take a few breaths. Okay, we'll sit all the way up when we're ready. Take as much time as you need there though. All right, we'll sit up nice and tall. Feet are hip distance apart. This is going to be our last thing today, and then we're going to get prepared for our Shavasana. So sit up tall, feet hip distance apart. We're just going to come to our elbows, like almost like chicken arms, okay? And we're just going to tall, keep the legs strong so they're not moving, and we're just going to twist. back through center and to the other side. Okay, nice and slow. Don't use momentum here, but I want you to feel that stretch. Good. See how far you can get that elbow back. Good. One more time each side. Make sure you even them out. Perfect. And release. We're just going to do one big breath in, reach all the way up just to recenter ourselves. Exhale, hands to hearts. Good. We'll get ready for our Shavasana. So get somewhere comfortable in your seat. If you're home and you'd like to lay down, you can go ahead and do that too. So wherever feels comfortable for you, it's kind of the beauty of practicing at home, is we get to make that space look like whatever we want to. So get yourself somewhere comfortable where you can feel rested. Make sure your body feels supported. And then when you're ready, let those eyelids close. Come back into your own space. Notice that energy, the thought patterns. Our thoughts are really powerful. Our brain is really powerful. What we think about creates these emotions. And those emotions create this change through our body. We know it when we think of certain thoughts. They create these emotions that we can feel in our stomach, we can feel in our body. We feel the intensity of how we're clenching our hands. So working our brain like a muscle is really important. We're not always going to think positively 24/7, or we're not going to think peaceful 24/7. But the more we sit in this space that we intentionally think positive thoughts, the more we're starting to rewire our brain to think that way. And it's really how a good day can just keep on getting better and better, and how a bad day, we can let it get worse and worse. So if we mindfully, every day, every hour, whatever your discipline is, if we could bring ourselves to this space of intentionally thinking the thoughts, it'll be this amazing workout we do for our brain. So we can come here in this space and just think of the things we're grateful for. It could be one thing, it could be a ton of things. Take a moment to try it and see how it creates this emotion in our body, this lightness in our body. Continuing to feel that gratitude. The skin on your forehead gets soft here. Let your tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. Feel that jaw soften. And imagine that expression on your face be that of peace and happiness. Feel those ears relax down towards your shoulders and your shoulders away from your ears. Start to notice that breath as it moves in and out. Letting those exhales leave you feeling grounded and soft. And those inhales leaving you feel light and energetic. A constant flow. If you're on your back, stay exactly where you're at. But start to move your fingers and your toes and your shoulders. Staying exactly where you're at. We're just going to take a big stretch. So whatever that looks like for you. Hands in front of your hearts. Take a moment to set yourself an intention for the rest of your day, for how we interact with ourselves and how we interact with others. We always end our practice with namaste, and that just means the light in me honors that light in you. Namaste. Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. I wish I could see your faces, but I know you're there energetically. Thanks for dealing with my internet problems earlier. It was so good to practice with you guys, especially outside, even in the rain. It was beautiful. So have a great week. I can't wait to see you guys soon. Make sure you're paying attention to all the bulletins through the library. We will see each other in person soon. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you soon.